Yeah, it's been slow mornings, late mornings, and usually I get off around 10. And I always thought that was late, but now I'm getting pathetic. I'm getting off onto the lake until about 12 o'clock. I'm a little more concerned today just because there's two portages that I want to do. And like with these portages, like I'm not sure the condition of any of these portages or they're still in use. So you can kind of see them in satellite imagery. Each portage is an adventure in its own, and I don't know how hard they are or whatever. There's no trip notes or anything on this. This is just something that I saw looking at satellite imagery, and I'm like, hey, this would make a good trip. So I'm going to do two portages to get into Lovell Lake. I'm on Lariviere, I think we're on right now, and Prongua Lake is the next one. My original idea was to actually stay on Prongua. There seemed to be, looked like it was better camping on that lake, and there was another side lake I could access to go fishing. But I think I'm gonna go all the way to Lovell, spend 2 nights there, and then start heading out and through basically a chain of small little lakes. It's getting pretty late. It's like 11:18 right now. I got to get a move on. Portage isn't too far from here. It's just probably maybe a kilometer away. So it'll be a hop, skip, and a jump, and I'll be portaging. Another late start. 12:30, 12:40. It's another cool day. That wind's cold. If I wasn't portaging, I'd definitely put on a toque. Okay, here's the start of the portage. And there's what we got. Looks like we kind of go through a bit of a lowland here. It doesn't look like full-on bog. There's kind of a point in this bay that juts out in the middle of the bay, and it's either one side or the other, and I just went to the other side just because there was a tin can in the trees and it threw me off, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's it. But when I pulled up, you could see flagging, so I got the right spot. As you can see, I've sprung a leak in the back, and this has happened before. I don't know what I'm gonna do exactly. I wish I had some glue, because it's just like a little pinhole, and it just goes right up into my float tank in the back. I know, like, the first couple times on this trip when I was portaging, I'm like, why is it so hard to get the canoe onto my shoulders? The back end felt so heavy. And then the one time I could hear it dripping, I hear glug, 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 glug. And I'm like, oh no, not this again. I don't know if I should just try to duct tape it and hope for the best, or maybe try something else. I think option B is gonna be the better option.
Feels a lot lighter without all that water in it. Oh, oh. One of the cool plants that I found here, creeping snowberry, I think it's called. And the neat thing about it is to get these little white berries, and they taste like wintergreen. They're amazing. If you ever spot it, check underneath it, see if there's any berries. I'm not sure when it produces fruit. I'm sure like probably July, August, but they're delicious. My boat sprung a leak. I can see that my yoke is starting to crack. It's still good yet, I hope, for the rest of the trip. And then I had one thwart go on me a couple years ago, and by golly, that second one went. Yep.
This lake is a lot better than the previous lake, Lariviere, in the aspect of this lake actually has a lot more places to camp. The whole thing's burnt out though. Like there's like spots where it's not, but I mean like 99% of the lake's burnt, and then you got this regrowth. Yeah, just about at the portage, things are going good. It's just getting really cold. Like it's this wind's blowing something in. After I do the next portage, I'm definitely going to suit up a little bit better, just to kind of tour around and fish to find a campsite on the next lake. See you at the portage. Well, that was a little bit of a sidetrack. I was paddling across, getting into the bay where my portage was, and then what happened was I saw these basically fallen logs, and they were cut, like there was a path, and I looked up and there was a few more cuts up top, so I decided to check it out. And I'm like, well, this is close to the portage, but if this is the portage, it's gonna take, like, it's gonna be a lot longer. So I go up and there's just random flagging tape in spots, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Because they lead to nowhere. And so I kind of follow the cut marks a little bit more, not paying attention to the flagging. And I just get to this meadow, and you can kind of see a path going down, but it wasn't nearly the quality of portages that we've had in the past on this trip. And so I'm like, this can't be it. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I go back, get in my boat, float down a little bit, and then yeah, sure enough, it must have been geologists or just prospectors, because there's rocks that were flagged, and there was actually one of those little medallions, I guess if you want to call them, with a number on it. There's also, they cut a channel just to probably send samples off to a lab to see what they got. There was kind of a bit of a quartz vein in there and some iron. It's red with the quartz, so they were probably maybe getting a little horny over that. I know there's like a diamond potential in this area. This area used to be full of volcanoes. There's a company called, I think, Northern Arrow, that does the prospecting for this area. Anyway, then I go try and find the portage, and I go back into this bay where I thought it was going to be. I didn't have my map out to show me exactly where it was. And I was looking all over the place. Couldn't find it. I'm like, there was kind of a bit of a pucker factor there. I was kind of like, oh God, where is this portage? And I looked, and it was just up on the other side of the bay, a little, like back out of the bay a little bit. And sure enough, I found it. This is it. This is kind of the beginning of it. I'm looking back at the boat. As you can see, I'm probably going to have to do some cutting to get my boat through. It looks a little rougher than the other ones, but hey man, it's here. I can't complain. Hopefully it gets better as we get a little higher in elevation. As you can see, this portage isn't as sexy, but looks like it's just got a lot of boulders growing in. Oh yeah, once you get it kind of up to the top, it clears out. It's kind of like this pine, birch area. It's beautiful. Okay, just launching off. I'm all rigged up, ready to do a little bit of fishing and look for a place to camp. There's a couple islands over here, looks like they're loaded with trees. On satellite imagery, there wasn't a lot of sites that I could find that were west facing to kind of keep out of this wind. It is a cold wind. Using the same lure as yesterday I caught that lake trout on. I just want to see the walleye potential in this place. There is no lake trout, even though this is the biggest lake out of other than obviously Deschambault. It doesn't have a population of lake trout. It's just walleye and pike, probably whitefish. First fish on Lovell Lake. Feels like a little tiny pike. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh, he doesn't want to let go of the lure. He's not even hooked. Let go, buddy. There we go. Now he's hooked again. Lovell Lake snot rocket. Oh, he's not that big. He seemed bigger in the water, but here you go, bud. I got like 1% left on this battery. Here and behind me, this is what it looks like. Pretty sheltered. Even got a little bit of debris right there. Try to, you know, cut off the wind a little bit. Even put the canoe down in behind it, just kind of block a little more wind because it can come underneath. Man, this fire's gonna feel good. The wind is just like blowing right up my back. Oh man, I'm spilling all over the place. I'm excited. Get a little salsa in here. Okay. I'd do that again. That's pretty awesome. I'm gonna demolish this. This is fantastic. Anyway, I'm gonna demolish, do dishes, and I'll see you guys in the morning. All right. Another another chilly one today. This time my campsite's in the wind, so it's feeling a little worse. Good thing is the wind kept the condensation off my tent, which has kind of kept it really well aerated. So that's a good thing. It's not raining, that's a good thing. And I'm about to drink a bunch of coffee, that's a really good thing. This should go. Even though it's kind of miserable out, hot coffee around the fire in the middle of the bush, nothing beats this. I don't want to be anywhere else. Sunlight's almost peeking out. It's just teasing me. Oh yeah, look at that sunshine, baby! The sun's been staying out for more than 20 minutes now. This is fantastic. Absolutely loving this. I got about I don't know, 5, 2, 3, yeah, about 4.5 kilometers to my next portage, which is, from what I remember from the satellite imagery, it's gonna be all bog, about 300 meters I think of bog, maybe 250, somewhere in there. There's like a trapper's cabin here. I'm gonna go check it out. Not the cabin itself, or go inside the cabin or anything like that, but just the area. See if it was a good idea that I stayed on that island and not at this place. Man, is it gorgeous out now. But if I woke up to this, like, I'd probably stay and I'd be fishing right now. I gotta take a peek to see what's inside. The door was locked. Oh yeah, some old engines. Looks like an ice auger. Paddle. Bunch of stuff. Man, those are vintage Johnson 35 horsepower engines. Pretty sweet. Oh yeah. This is pretty cool. Just wanted to take a peek. Look at these bad boys. You know, it wouldn't have been bad to stay here. It's sometimes the trappers' cabins, they kind of get really junky. They bring stuff out, and when they're done with it, they just kind of throw it to the side. This isn't too bad. Looks like the roof caved in on this one. Yeah. Needs a little work. Even the ladder looks like it needs a little work. I wouldn't step on that thing. It's interesting looking at satellite imagery and how you image stuff, like imagine stuff, then actually getting there and seeing what it looks like.
There's an outhouse over there, but I'll spare you the details on that one. Okay, my portage is somewhere up ahead. I think I see the line, but it's definitely not something that's definitive. On the topographic map, which I'm not sure when it was made, they actually draw in a portage in this location. So I'm not sure exactly where this is supposed to be or if it's still used. I'm assuming not, since that side is so good. I'm assuming people don't come through this way anymore. The topographic map says there's like a little creek, and then the portage is like to the north of it. I think I see a cut log. Here's that little stream, I think. And then there's, you can see, I don't know if you can see it right there, there's a tree with tops cut off. Yeah. So it must be right in here. Doesn't look like anything anymore. Well, I guess it's not north of the stream, it's east of the stream. But that cut log is just right there. Whoop. It's really hummocky. It's right there. And there should be a path going into here, but I don't see a thing. This is not really a bog, it's more of a fen. Difference from what I know between a bog and a fen is a bog receives its water from rainwater only, and fens receive their water from like a stream or a lake. And this is in between two lakes. You can actually see the creek. It's actually flowing this way back to Lovell Lake. It's fairly sturdy. Like, it's not like one of those really sinking, floating, boggy type things. It's fairly solid. And once I get into those trees, it'll even be better, I'm assuming. I'm just gonna interrupt for a second. I didn't film this part of the trip very well, and I wanted to share some of the details about this portage. The first thing is, when I made a push across the middle of the fen, it turned into a nightmare. I came across a ton of beaver runs, small pools, and a wall of willows. Once at the other end, I decided to head for higher ground on the west side of the fen and cut new portage back to Lovell Lake. In the end, I'm not sure if this was the best choice. All I know is I didn't want to go back across the middle of the fen. Anyways, sorry for the interruption. Now back to the trip. Actually, it wasn't too bad. When I got to the other end, I kind of went to the edge, followed game trails, and just kind of cleared the trail and blazed it. And it was good for probably 3/4 of the way, but then the last little bit just turned into alderfest. Kind of a nightmare. It really slowed me down. Probably the last quarter of the cutting probably took the longest. I'm getting too old for this. What the heck is that? Do I have my... Oh, Jesus. That's a typical move that I would do. I'm tired, so I didn't realize I put my yoke on backwards. Oh, there was a nice point here with we could be to make a nice campsite, but it's kind of in the middle of the wind. It's kind of exposed. That wind, clouds came over, wind picked up, and
just cooled right off again. I gotta chill. I had to put some, I put my long underwear top on. It's not really doing much. That wind, I gotta get my toque on and my jacket on again. Frick. I got my work cut out for me. Let's see, right off the spatula. Oh yeah, it was a weird day. Nah, I just didn't expect it to be that hard, that last portage. Yeah, we'll see how far I make it tomorrow. I don't know. Portage shouldn't be that big tomorrow. We'll see what it looks like. My apologies, I just haven't been able to film all that much. I've just been busy with putting up tarps and keeping these dry, and batteries are just dying out here like so quickly because of the cold. I mean, we've had, I think my biggest high is like as far as temperature wise is 6. Like it's been cold. Anyway, I got some work to do, and I'm gonna go to bed. Have a good night. been looking over the map, and my worry is that this next portage isn't going to exist. Yeah, the next couple of portages. Whoop. Well, I decided to leave camp up. I assumed that I was going to pack up camp today, but I'm just like, well, I don't even know if this portage is a portage. I might have to make it a portage. It might take me a while to get out of here. Who knows? Eventually, the portages do pick up, according to satellite imagery. Okay, let's start looking for portage. Lots of alders. Doesn't look like a portage, but it goes right up on rock right away, which is a nice thing. Right up in there. It's got a decent landing. So yeah, it's cut my way up into the rock barren here. Gonna try and follow the rock barren as far as I can. It goes probably, I don't know, a third of the way, maybe half if I'm lucky. Kind of goes into this birch alder kind of situation, which isn't all that bad. It's not too bad in there. So it's pretty easy cutting most of the way. Not like yesterday. You know, I've done some pretty shoddy portage work in my time, but this one's actually pretty good. I'm actually proud of the last one too. This only took maybe an hour, something like that. Taking advantage of those rock barrens really helped out. I cut myself on my finger, and then I cut myself on my leg yesterday. These silky saws are really sharp, and you got to be careful. Once I get going, I don't want to stop, and then I get super tired, and then I do stupid stuff. Yeah, I think that portage was 150 to 200 meters at most. Short little one, a little up and down, nothing too crazy. And it's a beautiful little lake. This another unnamed lake. The second one, I guess. I didn't think it was gonna look campy, but looks like there's a lot of rock barrens along the south side of this lake. Yeah, there's potential camping. There's actually some old growth up here too that hasn't, you know, burnt. Definitely some camping potential in the old growth. Oh yeah, like look at that. Right there. Just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. So if I started here and cut it straight through, it's 351 meters. I think I might go back there because you get all these black spruce. It's gonna clear up in there. They're all really old. Hopefully I can kind of find my way through. I'm just gonna go scout it out, see what it looks like. I was gonna try it that one spot, you know, with kind of had the fen and then you had a whole bunch of black spruce in behind. I was gonna try and make it through there. Then I'm like, well, you know, maybe I should try and check out the shoreline and then the little creek that runs out of here because it's flowing with me now. And so I kind of came and checked out the creek and I'm like, oh, this looks a little bit better. You know, it's just as far, you know, around the same distance, you know, to get across. And I was able to get up the creek to 70 meters, something like that, till I hit a beaver dam. I went through the bush, kind of like the stuff that you see behind me. And it was birch and it was alders and it was kind of messy, but I'm like, I could do this. This is not too bad. And then I saw these big black spruce, like, oh, maybe it's a little, the understory is a little clearer over there. And I walked over there and I stumbled upon a portage. So I'm pretty pumped. There's a good rut where the portage is. It just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. And it's gonna be a lot easier than going through that stuff or that stuff that I was checking out before too. So I'm pretty pumped. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, that was more alders than I was hoping for, but it's done. Way better than going through the middle of the bush. I'm gonna head back to my boat, go do that portage, get back on my lake, grab my fishing tackle, and have some fish for supper. I'm crossing my fingers, it's gonna be a walleye. Okay, let's find out if there's any walleye here. Oh, please let there be walleye. I don't want to eat pike tonight. Oh, geez, the wind died down there. It was feeling awesome. I got a sweat on. Oh, got one. Oh, he's off. Oh, he's on again. What's going on? That was weird. Looks like I got one on. I'm not sure what it is. Yup. Oh, sir. Oh, got off. Perfect. Oh, Jesus. Holy. What the heck was that? That doubled my rod over. Is my lure even? My lure's there, but oh my god. I wasn't even paddling hard. That had to be a fish. Holy shit. Apparently there's big ones in here. Oh. Fish on. Oh. Please be a walleye, please be a walleye, please be a walleye. Oh, I can see that big white belly. I'll deal with you later. Oh well, I caught like a couple of pike off camera. I think the total is altogether, did I catch 5 pike? Just kind of trolled around close to my campsite. And yeah, what a color of night. Yeah, good day. I'm glad I didn't tear down camp. I'm glad with the progress that I made today. And it should, cross your fingers, knock on wood, go better tomorrow.